Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Shy over here on Shy's Coinage, and today we are here to do our budget with me for the 13th through the 19th. I'm gonna just flip on in here. I'm gonna flip on over. I do write all this in before I hop on here to record, just because I don't want to sit here and write it all in on, you know what I mean? We're cutting into our time. So I just write it all in and we just go from there. So yes, like I said, this is the budget with me for the 13th through the 19th. I did leave something off, but I'm going to write it in once we get there. So let's hop right on in. We won't even waste any time. Like I said in my last video, we have a lot going on financially, but we are trying our best. Let me just put it that we are trying our best to do the right thing, pay what we owe, get everything settled, and do what we need to do to be in the position that we know we're trying to get into. So yes, so there's that. Okay, so for the family account, this is a week where just my husband gets paid. We're planning on him putting $1,000 in there. We're going to be pulling in $320 from our buffer, and just to be transparent, that does empty out our buffer account. So that's where we're at with that. I will be doing $85. And then for other, I'm going to do 0. So I'm going to add this up real quick and make sure. Oh, you know what? This is more than that. We had 320 in the buffer in a different account for a buffer. And then we still had 320 in our joint account that we did not transfer over to the buffer because we knew we were going to need it going in. So we just didn't even transfer it because we knew what we had going on. So we didn't even waste our time transferring it to the buffer account, just turn around and transfer it back in a couple of days. So 640 plus 85. I knew something was off. I'm like, that doesn't quite look right. 1725 is the number we will be going with here. Normally we would do 543 into our mortgage account every pay period. We just transferred over the 195 that we needed to make the payment that we were trying to make. So that is what we did this pay period. And yeah, then we got 332. This is my husband's car payment. Google is our Wi-Fi service. Greenlight is a subscription. It's $6. High Dive is also a subscription. It's $6. And then my kids do swim lessons monthly. It's not something I'm willing to give up at this time in our life. It's absolutely something they need. They consistently want to go to the pool. They want to go swimming. I cannot swim. It is not something I ever learned to do as a child. My mother she really just didn't take us around bodies of water. We never went to pools, lakes, beaches. That wasn't a thing for us growing up. She kept us away from all water. We never learned how to swim. But my children love the water. They want to get in the pool. It's what they enjoy to do. So with that said, we take swimming lessons to make sure that my children are always safe. So that is not something I will give up. Although I know some people are like, oh, when you are in debt and you owe and you have all this going on, you should be down to the bare bones. I am not that type. I will not hold you guys. I will not lie to you. I'll cut it down as in spending, like, oh, we don't need to be out blowing big money, eating out and things like that. But my children will get the experiences that they need and the life lessons that they need, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'll work harder so that they can enjoy these things. So we're gonna add this up. 195 plus 332 plus 86 plus 12 plus 80 is 705. We subtract that from 1725. Leaves us with $1,020. We're gonna bring that down here. We do the same thing every week here. 160 in groceries, 15 in essentials, 13 in the kids allowance. Like I said in the last video, I didn't have a car for quite a period of time during that last pay period. So I didn't have to fill up my own vehicle, but I did send my husband $15 to fill his up. So I get paid bi-weekly, and we take our gas money out of our own personal money, not out of what we put into our joint account, which is why these things are starred to come out of personal accounts. So I have $80 transfer automatically to a separate account every payday so that I can do 41 week, 40 the next week for gas. So I used 15 of it, so that left 65. So I'm just going to put 65 here. Do I think I'm going to use that whole 65? No, but that is what's in that account. So that's what I'm going to put there. And then spending is going to get 0. I just put it here because it's on every budgeting page, but I'm not budgeting anything for spending. So we normally go from here to here to here. So let's add this up. We got 160 plus 15 plus 13 plus 65, 253. Oh, that's wrong. When I said I forgot something, this was the area in which I forgot it in. So, said in the last video that I got a new vehicle. The place which I got the vehicle from, they wrap the sales tax and something else that we end up having to pay into the car loan. Now, I don't know how it works for everybody else in every other state, but here you buy a car, you have to pay the sales tax, and then you can purchase the tag that goes on your license plates. But you have to pay your sales tax first, and you also have to pay your property tax. So you have the sales tax is from buying the car, so you're paying the sales tax off the car, which is normally the chunk of change where you're like, I really don't want to have to pay that. And then our property tax is for owning a car in this state. So the car that I was in, my tag on that was current. So with that said, and this is irresponsible of us, I know, but I'm just going to be transparent. We had not paid our property taxes from 2024. Our property taxes are separate. So my husband's, because my car is in my name, his car is in his name. So we get billed separately for that property tax, and then we get billed jointly for the property tax on the home, although that's paid through the mortgage, so that really doesn't matter. But with that said, we had to pay my property tax so that the dealership could go to our DMV and get the tag and the license plate for my new car. So they handle all that for me, but I had to send them proof that we paid 2024's property tax. So we had to pay that. So that is what needed to be added. And that we are budgeting $534. I owe like $520 something. It's like $24, but I do know that there is some type of fee when you pay it online. They charge you some type of fee, and paying it online is the route that I'm going to go. So I just added in a little buffer there. So that was $253. So then we're gonna add on the $530, and that is $783 minus the $1020, which leaves us with $237. And then we're gonna come over here to our debt. We're gonna do $237 We paid the minimum on, this is a Capital One card, and we have a joint Capital One credit card, and then I have a personal Capital One credit card, which is why I don't just write Capital One. Credit card number 1 is our joint. Credit card number 2 is my solo Capital One. This Credit One is a credit card. Both me and my husband had a Credit One credit card. Those accounts are now closed, but we do owe them, so we are now paying them. We came up with arrangements. This one is my husband's. I have them coming out on separate weeks. This week is my husband's. It's like 156 and some change, so I just budgeted out 157 for that. And this Affirm 2 is an Affirm that I have out, which is why it started here to come out of my personal account, and I'm going to be sending $20 there. So yes. And I am ahead on paying these Affirms, but when I have a little extra money to send, I like to send it there so that I can hurry up and get them paid off. So you guys will start seeing this debt column fill up because the debt is filling up. So let's add this up. 25, 157 plus 20, 202. 202 minus 237. I really could have did that in my head, but for the sake of this, here we are. $35. So we'll bring 35 up here. The rollover on my account will be 0. The 35 will be the rollover in the joint account. And it'll just act as a buffer in case anything else decides to run out of there. So that leaves our leftover at 0. I know I sound very downtrodden about this, but this is just where life has us at right now, and we are trudging through, and I believe we will be okay. I have great faith. I am a believer in God, and I do know that we will be all right. I do know that if we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, doing what we need to do, staying focused, not getting off track, that we will be okay. And eventually I will be able to get back to savings. Right now, we have the $10 automatic savings that we have going to a high yield savings account. And I have a $10 automatic savings that goes to a high yield account, like for myself, that is personal. Then we have a $10 one that is joint. What my husband does with his personal money is his personal business, and I leave it that way. So yes, this is the budget for the week. So we will see how this goes. I will be back at the end of the week to do a closeout for this so that we can see if all these numbers stayed the same, if anything changed, if anything extra came in, so on, so forth, and all those good things. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.